Hi, greetings. It's me, Dr. Paul Gerhardt. And here we are about midway through the quarter and just 3 weeks away from when those sales training manuals are due. Yeah, I suspect there are some people who haven't even started on the sales training manual and are planning on relying on the old. I have always gotten things done in the last minutes. I think I'm going to give it a try this time and roll the dice. And yep, I'm going to ignore my professor's emails every Monday morning and not be proactive. I hope that's not you. I really want to see everybody practice being a good team member and get motivated to finish this sales training manual and make time to collaborate with your team members. Again, I want to emphasize that every person on the team needs to be working on every single part of the team project. And that means not just waiting to agree with whoever does any work. That would be really stupid. Don't be stupid because you're not. You're a very smart, intelligent person because you're in college. But in college, you need to learn to do things different ways, and you need to really recognize that because everyone is smart, it just takes time to take the information in, then try to synthesize what you're learning into a model that works. And that's why we have the sales training manual in this class. You know, in this course, it's supposed to be about really recognizing how to apply different concepts related to, whatever course that you're taking. But in this case, a sales training manual. I know. Some of you will never be in sales or be a salesperson. But I want to remind you, we are all in sales. And I know that's one of those things that you might say, no, we're not all in sales, but you really are. I mean, if you have ideas, and we all have ideas, or if you want to accomplish something, and we all want to accomplish something, you're in sales. If you are going to be in a job interview, and you want to get to the top of that interview hiring list, you're going to want to need to make sure that you know how to apply the proper sales concepts. That means communicating in the right way, communicating the right information at the right time, really being able to listen and evaluate what value is for the people that you're speaking to, and then be able to deliver the expectations in an authentic way that's win-win. That's selling. And I know in our first discussion online was, tell us about a bad or an unethical sales experience that you had. And we all have them. Or we've at least heard of them. And so if you recognize that you are in sales and that this course truly has value to you if you take time to really understand these concepts, then you're going to have a valuable skill that is going to help you be able to get what you need when you need it, no matter what it is, because it's all related to really understanding sales concepts. So, I really urge you to block out large chunks of time for you to work on every section. I mean, you should have, with your team, come up with a model, a business company product, or service that you're going to be developing a sales training manual about. I mean, ideally, this sales training manual is about you really being able to show that you can apply the concepts with a specific company in mind. It could be an existing company, or it could be a company that someone on your team would like to start. But whatever that is, you should be working through every section of the sales training manual on your own, then meeting with people either virtually or in person to synthesize those ideas. More ideas when you're talking about them and you've already written them down and not just planning to say, oh yeah, I agree with you. Written, that's why I say every person needs to be doing every single section. If you're doing every single section and you're being proactive at it, then you'll have something to bring to the table and synthesize to create something phenomenal with. That's what I want. I mean, when you're having these conversations and you've already written things down, you've done your homework, And then you're meeting either virtually or in person, and you're exchanging documents, and you're really thinking about what other people are saying, and you are going, yeah, but what if we did this? Or this is a good idea, but maybe we could do this to add on to that. Those are the kinds of conversations that help you collaborate to create something even better than what you just created. That's our goal. Yes, working on virtual teams and taking a virtual class isn't so easy if you've got bad time management. But just because you have practiced bad time management in the past, even yesterday, stop it. It's not serving you well. Everything's related to time. So schedule time. Take out a calendar. Write down. Work on Management 282. Do this specific things. You got to study in order to learn the concept. If you're looking up every answer in the quizzes, you're just stupid. And nobody's stupid. But you're practicing stupid habits because the smartest people, as I suggested, are really studying the chapters to learn it and then asking themselves, do I really know this? Use the tools that are given to you in a smart way. Nobody is stupid. So don't do stupid things. Make this course a powerful learning experience by being proactive and using it the way that it was meant to be used. And that means really making time to study the chapters and then take the quizzes to see if you really understood the questions. If you're doing well on the quizzes, it's because you really understood the concepts. Quizzes are easy when you know it. They're difficult when you don't know it. I know, and we're only doing like one chapter a week or two chapters some weeks, but goodness gracious, this is one of the easier classes in our program. So, do all parts well, but you've got to schedule time for success. So open up your syllabus and take a look at it. You need to have 20 pages minimum. I know I had a typo and I fixed it. But 20 pages minimum plus a cover page and a reference page. You need 5 legitimate sources, not Bob's blog on some company, but real.org or .gov or .edu type websites that really help you understand the industry, help you understand selling concepts. Yes, it's a library research project that you are applying the concepts to help illuminate key ideas related to selling. That's what we want for you. So I ask you, just step by step. So in here on page 12, I printed my syllabus. There's a section called Final Project Sales Training Manual, a research paper. What does a research paper mean? Well, it means you actually have to roll up your sleeves and do some research. Dive into the literature. Find out more about these topics. You need to have a heading for each of these required sections. You should have a heading that says pre-approach, a heading that says prospecting, a heading that says approaching, a heading that says recognizing the problem, a heading that says the presentation, a heading titled handling objections, a heading titled closing the sale, and a heading called following up with the customer. Those are all main parts of this sales training manual. I'm just reading it to you. If I were you, I would be looking those terms up in your textbook and then doing some research in the literature, library database, on each of those topics. And then be thinking about the company that you're in and how are you specifically, is a training manual. How would you train someone to do that with your product or service, each of those sections I just mentioned? And then write about it. I mean, it takes time to sit down and go, well, we're selling these marble globes. And I need to be able to understand the value of these marble globes in order to do it. And I know that not everybody needs these. I know it's a stupid example. But whatever your product is, how are you doing the research for the pre-approach? Yes, I use the word research because that's what the pre-approach is. It's about really understanding who your customers are and then preparing to make sure that you understand what their needs are. Then prospecting. How are you finding those particular customers? Well, they're just coming to our store. Well, how are you attracting them to your store if you have a store? Or how are you attracting them to your website if you have a website? Just putting it out there, hopefully they'll find you? Really? Think these things through. This is not rocket science, but it is meant to help you change the way you think. I mean, the whole deal here, I don't want to read this and like, this would never work. If I'm doing that, do you think you should get an A on a project that you just threw something together? I know I'm being kind of harsh, but really, I've been teaching for 15 years and I see awesome projects where students are really using this thing in their head to really think through these concepts, and they're showing me they understand these. Those are the students that get A's on these projects. The students that are just throwing something together and not showing that they've learned anything, what grade do you think those students deserve? Really? We're an academic institution of higher learning with a reputation of excellence. Think about the word excellence. Be excellent. I love recording A's, and I don't love recording F's. You get the grade you earn, but I'm urging you every week this quarter to roll up your sleeves and do the work. And that means schedule time for success. Don't be a bad team member. Be a good team member. Be proactive and start working on the sales training manual on your own, because everybody needs to be doing every single section, then getting together and doing it. The next section. Research. You need to be researching the industry. Don't go to Wikipedia or dictionary.com. Those are not allowed. Go online and find out more about the industry and write about it. What is in this case about the Marble Globe, who are the companies that are producing these? How did it get started? How many of those have been sold in the past year, and why? Understanding the industry that you are in is key to being successful. If I wanted to go and be a human resource manager, and I put my application in at a company, and I really wanted to do it, and I had some education about it, but I wasn't able to talk about human resources, or didn't really get why there were human resource professionals working, I probably would not be the best candidate for that job. So research the industry that you're in and write about it, and then cite it appropriately. And again, the sales training manuals need to be 100% in your own words. They cannot be copied and pasted. I will send it through a plagiarism checker, and I have seen people fail this class because they pretended to write things or just change a few words and it's not theirs. So plagiarism, as I've spelled it out in the syllabus, is not putting everything 100% in your own words. This is academia. You're smart. Be smart. Show you really understand these concepts. Identify and discuss customer needs is the next section. That should be a heading. Talk about who are your customers, what are their needs, what is the value of this particular product or service. And then the next section is strategies for identifying and communicating with individuals. There is a chapter that talks about communication. What are those 4 communication styles that the chapter talks about? Write them down. It's a major section. Describe them and talk about your plan of action, what someone who is selling to them should look for to identify those communication styles, and how will they address selling and understanding them first, and then selling to them, whatever your specific product or service is. And so, all in all, I'm looking for you to demonstrate principles of successful selling, those things that are above. If you're not getting the concepts down, or you're not clearly showing me that you understand it, you're not going to do well. So I need to be able to walk away and say, if I was working for this company, proposed company, would I really understand what the product is, what the industry is, and each of those processes that salespeople at all would understand, no matter what level. If I was the human resource manager of this company that was selling that product, I would want to know the processes that salespeople were going through in order to communicate. I really want to understand the value of what that is. So can you see how it really takes time to be able to do a quality product? That's what I'm looking for. If you do an average job, you're letting your team down. If you're not communicating weekly with your team and working on each of these sections with your team, and you don't have headings, that's where I would start, is I'd actually have an outline where each of these required sections, like prospecting, pre-qualifying, all of those things that are in here, all had a heading. And then I would think about my product or service, and then I'd be writing things down and doing research, and I would even start with defining it. Prospecting is this. Here's how we do prospecting at XYZ company. Our product is this, and here's the approach that we make for this. And this is why it's important. That's what good training is all about. Train me. You're going to be peer reviewed by other members of your class for your project. This needs to be 100% spell checked and proved. If you have 7 people on your team, that means 7 eyes, 7 hands, 7 minds. All should be making this perfectly, and you should be thinking things through very thoroughly. Don't rely on other people to do the work and then you get credit for it. If you are not doing the work, you will get 0 credit for this if I hear from your team members that you were not proactive in making this project a priority. Why would you get credit for something that you didn't contribute to or contribute your fair share to? I want everybody to do well. I want everybody to have a powerful experience where they're really learning a lot and really understanding these concepts, and you're showing me and your classmates that you understand these concepts and how to apply them, because it matters. It matters to me because I want you to learn and be able to have these as tools to use to create a better future for yourself. But you need to want it, and you need to show me and your classmates in the work that you're doing that you're being proactive by scheduling time to create success. Make it a powerful experience. Make it one where you learn a lot and you're really stretching your team members in a positive way to see things differently, and creating a sales training manual that when people read it, they'll go, oh my gosh, this is excellent. I clearly understand each of these processes in the sales process. I understand this industry, and I can clearly see how smart our salespeople would be if they were really selling this product or service for our company. That's what I have for you. Don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. I'm here to help. I'm Dr. Paul Gerhardt. Make it a great day. Only you get to choose.